It was a unique guy, and he became a friend of mine. You know, I didn't know Rush at all. I had essentially never met Rush. And then when we came down the escalator, he liked my rather controversial speech. I made that speech that was a little bit on the controversial side, and he loved it. And he was, without ever having met him or talked to him or, you know, had lunch with him or asked him, he was with me right from the beginning.
And for more on Limbaugh's life, legacy, and lasting influence, we want to bring in Ken Blackwell with the Family Research Council. Ken, it's good to have you with us this evening. I know you knew him personally. What was your reaction this afternoon when you heard the news?
Quite naturally, I was disappointed and saddened. Rush Limbaugh was an irrepressible human spirit. He was engaging, he was informative, and he was courageous. But most of all, I think he was optimistic. He, like Lincoln, understood that, you know, the human condition isn't a spectator sport, and America is not perfect, but it is perfectible by good people doing good things and great things together. And he was, like I said, irrepressible in that, with that optimism, and he was sharp-witted, and he used it constructively.
Ken, what do you think will be Rush's lasting contribution to conservatism in American politics?
You know, there's a passage in Luke where we're told to be unafraid, to be unafraid. Rush Limbaugh was fearless, and so he was always advancing on principle, the conservative message. And I think that will be his lasting gift to us. And again, he will be missed, but he will not be forgotten. Rush Limbaugh was a true American patriot, and icon doesn't really grasp his impact.
You know, to your point, many credit him with saving talk radio. I know that you actually, that's how you knew him, was through the radio industry.
Yeah, I was a founding member of Blue Chip Broadcasting. We became the second largest minority-owned broadcast company in the country until we sold to Radio One. But Rush Limbaugh, I knew through a network of personalities and friends. Walter Williams, who was a good friend of Rush's and actually set in for him. And then James Golden, who was one of Rush's longtime producers. A network of friends. And while, you know, I didn't talk to Rush every week, didn't talk to him sometimes over a year, I in fact felt very close to him because we had a network of friends, but because he was such an engaging personality on radio, he really did not like low information voters. And so he did everything he could do to light candles. He didn't spend a lot of time cursing the darkness. He lit candles. And I think that's what made him such a special person.
Ken, if you can, in a sentence or two, at last year's State of the Union, former President Trump awarded Limbaugh with a Presidential Medal of Freedom. Can you talk about his battles from addiction and cancer and how they culminated in that moment?
Well, again, he understood that once he surrendered to Christ, that there was nothing that was unbearable, nothing that he couldn't conquer, or if in fact he had to push through it, he could push through it in confidence that he was doing it, and that he ultimately would spend his time with Christ. And I think that gave him strength.
That's going to have to be the last word. Ken Blackwell with Family Research Council, thank you so much for your reflections.
So good to have you.